The Chef Ann Foundation's Hero Highlights, Stories from the Field, is presented by Danone North America. To ensure the incredible stories of our school food workers are being told, we are sharing stories from the field as school food teams tackle food insecurity due to widespread closures amid the COVID-19 pandemic. If you are looking for support during this coronavirus pandemic, please head over to our COVID-19 resources and support page. And if you'd like to nominate a school food leader in your community for Hero Highlights, please send an email to submissions@chefannfoundation.org. Today, we will be presenting a two-part interview with Omar Guevara-Soto, Assistant Director of the Minneapolis Public Schools Culinary and Wellness Services in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
So my name is Omar Guevara-Soto. I am the Assistant Director for the Minneapolis Public Schools Culinary and Wellness Services. We oversee all the food services in all of the 68 schools that our district has. A couple charter schools that we do vended meals with them. Our district has an enrollment of close to 36,000 students. Our average daily participation is close to 57%. And, we have, out of that enrollment, we have a 49% of free and about 8% of the students are reduced. Our district has 38 CEP schools. And currently, pre-COVID, we were serving breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, averaging a total of about 55,000 meals a day. We have the food and vegetable program running, and every single program that can grant access to food to our students, you name it, we have it. And we try to look for more and, to be able to expose our students to more fresh foods.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear that you are truly going above and beyond to get that going. Now, I'm curious for you, what inspired you to get into school food and what drives your passion for this work?
I'm originally from Mexico. I have been fortunate to be born into a family of restaurateurs. Access to food was never a question, right? And I grew up seeing the power of fresh food, what that creates, what that makes, what that what it is. Fast forward, when I decided to move to the United States and pursue my own personal career goals, I knew it was going to be always related to food. And really quickly, I was ingrained on how the food system works here. I was aware of what the limitations were, started getting to know the food desert definitions, the lack of access to fresh food, and without just in my personal growth, in my learning on how to navigate a new society, living in a new country, seeing what I was seeing, I always asked, my mind would go to why, right? I come from a third world country, and I know that it is, I know what it is to be hungry. I know what it is, limitations. And I found it interesting that here that was happening in the most powerful country of the world, So I was fortunate again to always kind of work on their amazing pioneers in their areas. I work for, I work for a local chef in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. Her name is Ann Cam. And I learned a lot on how to give to the community. She is very involved in our community, and the generosity that she had and the concern to make sure that, you know, to look everything through the lens of equity, it was one of the best things I could learn from her. And she was one of the first ones to start, getting involved with the Minneapolis public schools at the time when Bertrand Weber took over and he started putting together a chef council. Mm-hmm. And I learned through her what was happening. Immediately, as I started digging into what was that Bertrand was doing within the Minneapolis public schools, like something went up, and I knew I could, I wanted to be there. I wanted to be part of the team. I wanted to explore that area, and I knew that working with youth and food, there was some really, really special, opportunity there to address all those topics of food insecurity and the limitation to access to fresh foods, and the list just goes on. So, and I'm happy that I follow my hunch. I am now on my 7th year here, and every day my job gets me up and happy, and I enjoy the challenge every day. I see the immediate reaction, the immediate satisfaction, and how what we do reaches all of these youth that currently share a meal with us in our schools. So, yeah.
I love that story, and I'm curious, what is it about the youth and impacting youth, and that through that equity lens that really, you said that was so powerful. What about that is so powerful?
They are the future. They are the ones who are going to be pushing for change. They are the ones who are going to receive the world that we're living in right now, and how we live it for them. Mm-hmm. And they're the ones who are gonna make it better. And right now they are in the position to learn, to see, to observe, to absorb, to identify, to look, to plan, to build. We are in the position to provide the platform for them to build, to create, to improve what we are currently doing. And it is a lot of responsibility that they have in their shoulders, but I think we have the obligation to make sure that they feel responsible for improving and for doing a better, and you name it, like fill in the blank, a better society, a better access to everything, so I will work and I will put all my efforts to make sure that what I have to do and what I need to do, I would do it to make sure that everyone, all the generations coming behind us, do have that in mind.
Thank you. Thank you for those words and for doing that, because it's so needed, and it is, I feel like, harder to see these days.
It is, yeah.
So in terms of the work that you've done during COVID, what has stood out to the most to you, and what are you most proud of that you all have been able to accomplish?
Oh my God. Huge challenge, right? And hats off to every single person involved in school food service. And in every industry, we all, it's incredible to see that literally the entire world working to find a solution, right? And struggling on this, bringing it down to what it is, just to see the generosity of my staff, my coworkers. They, like, from day one, we knew we were gonna ask. we were going to be asked to step out there and support the community, right? We know that has always been and will always be the in the like front center ask from the superintendent how to continue supporting our community. We do that during snow days. We do that during any type. Nobody has done it in a pandemic, right? And in this huge effort. And from one day to the next, to suddenly, come up with building a new way of operation and continue to stay true to our mission to increase access to food. And now not only to the Minneapolis public school students, to every youth in our community, and how we all took the steps forward towards improving and reaching out and increase the number of people that we involved into creating this new way of providing food. It's been just an amazing, an amazing moment to see everybody hands-on to make it happen. And the questions that were asked to us often was like, what else can I do? And yes, and what else you need me to do? Okay, how can I help here? So through this, also navigating it through the uncertainty, through the unknown, through the risk, just our staff that since day one they have been there, and that's amazing, and you can feel it because the first week that we started this, the first day we did a whole 1,000 meals. By week 2 we were already on the 20-something thousand. So
wow.
The progress on this and the shaping it how it should be. As of today, we're in a transition week where we're transitioning into summer, the same program, and our staff is there. This morning we had all the people that have worked throughout the school year transitioning into the summer. So it was an organized chaos, but people were ready to go, ready to tackle, ready to be at the food sites, ready to be at our the nutrition center that is our production facility, ready to go. And I think, that has been what I am most proud of, how everyone kept tight and helped us unfold this.
That is so powerful to hear, and also it is what we've been hearing over and over again, that it is the teams that are bringing life to these programs and bringing meaning to the food.
Yes.
In relation to your COVID program, have you seen an increase in food insecurity or need in your community since the start of the pandemic, or in comparison to your normally served meals? I recognize it's different, but have you noticed anything that might have caused that?
Definitely. My personal view on how we as a society started confronting this pandemic, a lot of us started being guided by fear. People retrieve into their homes the unknown of whether it was safe or not to be out there. And then we started seeing by the thousands of people losing their jobs, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly, we just started getting all these unemployment reports and hearing on the news how by the thousands the applications for unemployment started getting into this office. And at our sites, at our pickup sites, you would see whole entire families coming to pick up the food. And the conversations in the first very couple of weeks that we would have with parents at the food pickup, the pickup sites, were a little concerning. And many of them, the first industries that got hit, the service industry, the hospitality industry, they didn't know where the next paycheck was going to come. And they were facing really harsh realities. And definitely you could hear the concern on how am I going to put food on the table, right?
Right.
So food insecurity grew. Also the students that depend on their school counselors, the students that have any type of health issues, suddenly all that support system went away and left them vulnerable. And that's another group of the population that suddenly they were food insecure. I think it was suddenly every single person faced that. Even we were having a discussion about all this, and for some people, like, we are satisfying a need, and for some, and that need can mean different things for different families. Some of them is the need of a structure where they have to have this connection with the school and have some familiarity to help keep somewhat a schedule within their day. And when both parents are working and suddenly they didn't know what to do and their kids stay home. And on the other hand, the need of actually depending on this food. But at the both levels, they suddenly, both students, they join the group of food insecure. We see it in the areas that are a little more affluent than others in the city, how the amount of families that come out and actually pick up the box and becomes that daily activity with the family and helps them get through the day. And that's a sign. And also we see that the family that needs it the most, that both parents are unemployed, coming out and picking up the same box and satisfying the same need.
Did you see your numbers change dramatically from the start to the end over the time of your feeding program?
Oh yeah. What we're doing is, it's a box that has enough food components to put together 7 breakfasts and 7 lunches.
Right.
That was part of the first modifications that we did to our boxes, because we started with 5. And the very first day, March 17th, we gave away, or we distributed like over 1,200 boxes. Throughout the city, we have 10 different sites that we visit every single day. So at the end of the week, we have covered the entire city, and we have a total of 50 food pickup sites. Right now, we are averaging 3,000 boxes a day. When we started with 1,000.
Yeah.
And now we have 7 total of 14 meals in each box. So weekly, we're averaging about 45,000 meals that we are distributing. If you compare it pre-COVID, we were serving an average of 55,000 meals a day. We have not only seen an increase, we have maintained there's a very little gap between pre-COVID and post-COVID, or during COVID. And we are reaching out more people because we are getting people in the community that not necessarily are students of the Minneapolis public schools. And also, we're seeing students in the Minneapolis public schools that normally would not partake of our meals, joining the line to get a box. And I think that has been a huge win for our department, because the feedback that we're seeing and that we're receiving through emails, through Facebook, through all these parent groups that are built within each school, the majority of the comments are like, I cannot believe this is the food my kid gets. And we went through a period where actually parents that normally their kids would not eat would reach out to say like, hey, we normally pay for the school lunch for our kid, or I send the lunch home or from home, and can we pay for the box because my kid loves it. And we started sending our inside of our boxes, we have, you know, entrees that we would normally serve, like the week that we serve chicken parmigiana, we receive a lot of really good feedback. But the week that we put tamales as one of the entrees, people were actually making a line to and asking, is this a tamale box? You know, and people started questioning us, and we started receiving this feedback on like, is this for real what you normally serve? So I think we're tapping into the interest of the parents of that normally do not participate in the school lunch, to see that what a great and quality food their kids are being offered.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we are making a dent on that stigma of it's only school lunch. Oh,
Right.
it's just
Right.
like, you know, and I think that has been a great opportunity that hopefully pays in the future for us whenever and however we go back to the school. Those kids, the first, it's in their mind, they're like, oh yeah, I need to go and
Get
join the
that.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My next question is directly how, what you're doing to this week and today, how are you transitioning from your emergency feeding plan into your summer feeding? What does that look like?
We are just readjusting. We're doing the same thing. We are letting the community know that we will continue our 10 stops a day.
Mm-hmm.
We will continue through at least July 24th, providing the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because normally during the summer we will have, we will partner up with libraries, YMCA's, any type of summer activities through the park board, and we would provide, or food trucks will be out there at the parks, you
Mm-hmm.
know, in different times, and feeding all the kids that are associated with these parks, enjoying the summer activities. But obviously this summer we are very cautious about the congregation of people. So parks are not going to be running these programs. The public pools are going to be closed. Some libraries are just going to be doing, instead of activities, just, you know, curbside pickup of books and stuff. So we are partnering with a really limited number of community sites that we call, that will be offering some level of summer activities for youth, and we will continue to have all of our sites, food pickup sites, open with the 7 breakfast, 7 lunches throughout the summer. The transition was not as big as we expected, because we kind of, with the support of our district, to say, let's stay as is.
Mm-hmm.
We are continuing to offer childcare centers. Some schools have opened as a childcare centers, and we will continue feeding those. But our program will be as is, and we thought that it would be the best for our community to continue receiving this support, as we don't know how this is gonna look like, and there's not a way to congregate people
And
to
it's
serve
changing every day.
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day and you know, I totally understand. We have, like, the Minnesota Department of Education has been amazing, and you know, it's just provide assurance to, like, we're here to support you, and disseminating information as soon as possible, and you know, they have been amazing partners throughout that whole thing. And, we're just expecting that news so we can continue planning ahead and just sitting back, waiting, to react.
Thank you for tuning into the first part of our 2-part interview with Omar. We hope you're finding it as inspiring as we are, and would love you to come back and check out the second half next week on the Lunch Line. As a reminder, if you have anyone you think should be featured, please send an email to submissions@chefannfoundation.org. Hero Highlights is a program of the Chef Ann Foundation, who carries out our vision by ensuring that school food professionals have the resources, funding, and support they need to provide fresh, healthy, delicious, cooked-from-scratch meals that support the health of children and our planet. The Hero Highlights series is sponsored by Danone North America, who offers a variety of brands that kids and parents love, including Dannon, Silk, Horizon, Organic, and many more. The company's mission is to bring health through food to as many people as possible, and they greatly value their partnership with the Chef Ann Foundation to bring this vision to life within K-12 food service. Learn more at DanoneAwayFromHome.com. If you'd like to check out any of the other heroes we have highlighted, please head over to the lunch line at chefannfoundation.org. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day.